Do you like my fancy pirate outfit?
I think you even got mermaids on it.
Yeah, I picked this up for I believe like $3.99 at the Ross Men's Warehouse.
I was almost expecting you to say Goodwill for $3.99.
It basically is. Yeah, you know, I was like, this is my new Skull and Shackles shirt.
So if you guys don't know who I am talking to, obviously this is Mike Selinker. He is of the widely popular Pathfinder adventure card game. And Mike, we talked last year at Gen Con, and this game has just taken off.
Yes.
So, you know, I'd like to ask you a ton of questions, but I think the most obvious questions that everybody wants to know, where are we going with Burnt Offerings? We know that the Scenario 6 is releasing. What's happening after that?
After that, okay, so people are making tons of content for this game. We know that people love the idea of playing their old characters, continuing to play them. So there's tons of content out there if you want to play it. And once Set 6 releases, I'm sure that people will continue to make that. But we have decided that we don't want a game where we have to stack every game on top of every other game, right? So if at the end of Set 6 you're rolling 5 dice a turn, at the end of the second adventure, Set 6, you're rolling 11 dice a turn. At the end of the third adventure path, you're rolling 18 dice a turn. I don't think anybody wants that. Like people talk about like they gotta keep playing the same characters. Try these new ones out. Just give us a chance.
So you're forcing us to try the new ones out.
I want you to try something new.
So what you're saying is that Burnt Offerings will eventually be outdated because we are moving into a whole nother direction of Skulls and Shackles.
I mean, I don't know about outdated. You'll still be able to play it. You'll still have a good time playing it. But give our new stuff a chance. I'm begging you people. I'm begging you. Just work with me here. Don't look, I can come up with new ideas. I came up with a pretty good idea last time. Just give me a chance. That's all I'm saying.
So our characters that we have played with at this point, and we have leveled them up, we are going to go through Scenario 6, and we're going to have, are we going to instantly transfer them over to Skulls and Shackles and immediately be able to play Scenario 1 with them, or we probably should just start a whole new adventure with each character?
I would highly recommend you start a new adventure. The characters in Skull and Shackles are suited for that adventure path. The gunslinger comes in, the swashbuckler comes in. You know, they do special things in Skull and Shackles. I think you're not going to want to stay as attached to the characters you have as you will when you see Skull and Shackles.
So let me ask you one thing. What has been kind of in your mind one of the first things that you felt was the biggest thing that you wanted to change from going to Burnt Offerings to Skulls and Shackles? What's the most, I mean, you've had so much feedback. We've seen the forums, okay?
We have had something like easily 10,000 different threads and feedback submissions and stuff like that. And we've read every single one of them. We've had interviews with people at conventions. We've had tons of play tests in public. We've learned a lot. I think a couple of things are significant. The first is we're going monthly, right? We had a lot of people who were complaining that they couldn't get it fast enough. They couldn't get, they were finished and then they just sat around waiting for content. So we're going to try doing two adventure paths a year. We're going to see how that goes.
Woo!
I know. We're going to give it a try. Our first one, Skull and Shackles, comes out in August. The second one comes out in February, and we're going to see how that goes. The second thing people were telling us over and over was they wanted more scenarios to play. So, and also they were saying that they wanted new characters to play with, that they'd gone through Rune Lords with their same characters, and they wanted to try something different. So, all right, we thought, can we do something about that? So we created an organized play program. And the organized play program has lots more scenarios that people at retail stores will get first and get to play through, and then we'll bring them to conventions and sell them to folks and so forth. And we created a whole bunch of class decks where we have more fighters, more rangers, more sorcerers, different genders, different races, all the combinations you could possibly ask for. You know, people would say, oh, why do I have to play this Valeros? He's a male human fighter. I want to play a dwarf fighter, female dwarf ranger, whatever. We got that for you now. So those were some big things we learned. We also decided to make quite a bit of different kinds of scenarios. In Rune Lords, there's about 1 scenario per adventure that's pretty weird, maybe 2. Here, just about everything is a little bit weird. So that's what we do.
One of the questions I asked you off camera was that, given the fact that we have so many cards,
We have a lot of cards.
it's going to be impossible to not have duplicates going from one set to the next, right? So just expect that already, but we're looking at probably a pretty low percentage, right?
Yeah, definitely well under 10%. The potion of healing isn't changing. The cure spell isn't changing. Blessing of the gods isn't changing, right? But wherever we saw a chance to do something new and we could break out of that, we've come up with something new. So there's not goblins in here, there's Grindylows, right? There's not just a ghast in here. There's a villain ghast and some more ghouls and just different things, right? Anywhere we thought we could change it up, we did, and we think we came up with some really fun new content.
Do you think a lot of the changes that you've made are just ideas that you had already come up with, or do you feel like that the crowds actually influenced you enough to be able to make different changes that maybe you didn't think of?
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like new, I guess, outside of the box thinking that possibly you was like, wow, this is what they want, this is what we're going to deliver.
Absolutely. It's a mix of both. When we finished Rune Lords, I was still overbrimming with a bunch of ideas, and my developers had a bunch of ideas. So, for example, I already had the Alchemist and the Oracle pretty much designed in my head as to what they would do, and so we got to do them in here, right? And we developed it based on that. So there was a little bit of, when we get to Skull and Shackles, I got a bunch of stuff that I want to do, and the developers did too. But, oh my god, we got so many great ideas from the forums and from people at conventions suggesting things that we might come up with, and those have absolutely affected how we did things for this set and the next one. I think this may be the most public game I've ever been a part of, where people have just
it's a great community.
Yeah, constantly come up to me with have you guys considered something like this?
Yep.
I didn't come up with the idea for a promo character, for example. Somebody else came up with that, and so we have a goblin promo character that we debuted this month. The fan feedback has been amazing, and so I don't intend to turn that off. Like, whenever people have ideas, as long as they understand that we might use them. Like, if you tell me an idea, there's a reasonable chance I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think that's really awesome, to be honest, and I think a lot of people agree.
It's really fun. I mean, I've played this game now with, I don't know if it's thousands yet, but many hundreds of people, and everybody's got just such great feedback that they've been giving us. I can't wait for more.
So, Skulls and Shackles. This is our Gen Con big release for Paizo for Mike's next game, and we just happen to have it right here in front of you, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
So, you didn't think I was just going to have Mike sit here and woo you for the entire interview, did you? No! Mike wants to actually show you his next series of games.
Let me show you some things. All right.